Hello, everybody. I would like to talk to you about what Ivanka Trump has accomplished in her short 4-day visit to Africa, which is apparently more than what Barack Obama and Michelle Obama accomplished in 8 years when it comes to women in Africa. Let me just run down some of the few things that Ivanka Trump accomplished. And the reason why I'm going into this is because clearly the mainstream media will not say anything about this. You see, because of the fact that they are creating a rhetoric so that they can frame the minds of people in a particular direction, which is why it is important for you to seek out the truth for yourself. If you want to know what is happening, you have to look at the facts. You have to seek out the truth yourself. If you are looking at news corporations, you are in soup, you see. So let me just run down a few things that Ivanka Trump have accomplished just in 4 days when it comes to African women. First of all, she visited Ethiopia and she launched the OPIC 2X Africa. You see, it's actually an initiative that has provided $1 billion for specifically projects and businesses that are spearheaded by women in Sub-Saharan Africa and that's Ethiopia and the regions around it. You see, this is very interesting. This is basically free capital to start businesses and it's targeted at only women. There are issues, of course, with empowering only women in this matter because the way Africa works, you cannot just empower women and leave the men. You see, Africa has a different structure. You cannot create a picture of Africa where the women are much more wealthier than the men. You see, it may work for Americans due to the way they have been programmed over the years, but that does not work in Africa. When you make women more rich and more powerful than men at a strong disproportion, you create a series of different problems that I won't go into right now. But one of that is that you have to understand that men in Africa do not like women who are more powerful than them or richer than them when it comes to relationships or marriage. So that is a big problem, you see, and this is now a gateway for lesbianism. But that is another topic. In any case, Ivanka Trump's visit was just mainly for African women, and that is who she has focused to help. Also, the Trump administration launched the Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative. They did that 2 months ago. And you see, the move is actually going to create 50 million jobs, entrepreneurial jobs for women by 2025 in Africa. So you can see a situation where President Trump is actually helping African women. Men are not included in this 50 million women, helping them become entrepreneurs. And that is funding. Also, you also have to understand that since the exchange rates are what they are, someone receiving money from America or from outside Africa, when you bring it down into Africa, the purchasing power of that amount of money is very powerful and it can do a lot more. For example, to an American, 1 cup of coffee costs $20. But in an African country like Nigeria, that $20 can get you 3 or 5 cartons of coffee, not just the cup. You see, so this is a very interesting empowerment move. Also, there's the Wi-Fi Summit which Ivanka Trump is one of the founding members, and it allocated $120 million towards projects that help female entrepreneurship globally. They also have a chapter in Africa, and Ivanka Trump visited a chapter, and I believe she gave an address there. You see, this is very interesting. First of all, clearly she has put herself as somebody who, on a legendary level, and on a level that will not be forgotten, really helped African women and women in general when it comes to empowerment and actually giving them entrepreneurship positions, because this is actually free money. But you have to understand that Africa works a certain way. You cannot just keep empowering women and giving them money to start businesses and only them, and leaving out the men. I know that previously it would seem that men were the main benefactors of such free money, but that is not true. It was always open to anybody with an idea. But now this actually could be the precursor of a bigger problem for Africa. But in general, it is a good thing that money is being provided. And I hope that more Africans will not actually get entitled and still gets into the habit of expecting more and more free money for their own entrepreneurship projects. You see, but these things that are being done, it is important that it is known and it is talked about, because I know the mainstream media would not talk about it. So you've heard about it, you know about it. Thank you.